Marschall Rommel weist die Abschnittskommandeure in ihre Aufgaben ein. Die Befehle zur Verteidigung der El Alamain-Stellung werden in allen Einzelheiten besprochen. Unsere Panzer entlasten durch kühn geführte Gegenangriffe die schwer kämpfende Infanterie. Bereits in den ersten beiden Tagen der großen Offensive verloren die Briten rund 270 Panzerkampfwagen. Die Verbände der deutsch-italienischen Panzerarmee stehen hier gegen einen an Zahl und Material weit überlegenen Feind, der immer neue Divisionen in die Schlacht wirft.
There goes the alert, and hardy desert fighters come from dugouts on the double to man the anti-aircraft batteries. Cautiously, a soldier looks for signs of life, but there are no survivors. The defenders of Libya and Egypt reach their critical front when Rommel's columns clash with the British in the desert wilderness between Bir Hakeim and the coast. Here, American General Grant tanks get their baptism of fire. On the burning desert, first the tanks advance, then a smoke screen shields the advancing troops. The RAF, reinforced by American airmen, roars into the battle to blast the enemy supply lines.
Am Rande der nördlichen Fabrikvorstadt schwere Batterien beschießen die an der Wolga gelegenen Industrieanlagen, die zu den bedeutendsten der ganzen Sowjetunion gehören. Ein Panzerspähwagen stößt in die brennende und zerstörte Stadt vor. Um jedes Kellergewölbe, jeden Steinhaufen wird hier erbittert gekämpft. Im Häuserkampf von Stάλinγκραντ sind schnelle Entschlusskraft und äußerste Härte von entscheidender Bedeutung. Dort hinten die Wolga.
I congratulate the armies of the Don Front on the successful completion of the liquidation of the enemy armies at Stάλinγκραντ. I thank all men, commanders and political workers for their excellent fighting. Commissar for Defense, Stalin.
Stάλingrád belongs now to history. But before the final pages turn to end a glowing chapter of valor and sacrifice, these pictures show us glimpses of the last few hours of the siege, and its ending in the overthrow and capitulation of an avowedly invincible German army. The immense German armored forces flung against Stάλingrád by Hitler's intuition had been encircled by the Red Army and inexorably driven back into the bend of the Don River. Stάλingrád had become the center of a vast graveyard for hundreds of thousands of Axis soldiers. A graveyard, too, for thousands upon thousands of Soviet soldiers and civilians who laid down their lives for Russia. At a Russian headquarters on the outskirts of Stάλingrád, the CEO is greeted by Marshal Voronov and General Rokossovsky, the officer commanding the Don front. Closing in on those sections of the town still in German hands, the Russian artillery opens up on them at point-blank range.
In der ersten Stunde des 6. Juni, wenige Minuten nach Mitternacht, rollt die gewaltige militärische Aktion an. Die Flotten zweier Weltmächte sind mit Unterstützung großer Luftwaffenverbände im Anmarsch auf die europäische Westküste. Unter gleichzeitigen schweren Bombenangriffen setzt der Feind im Hinterland der Seinebucht starke Luftlandeverbände ab. Deutsche Vorpostenboote nehmen die Annäherung der feindlichen Einheiten auf und geben die Meldungen weiter. Alarm für alle! Batterien schwerer und leichter Flak bekämpfen Bomber und Luftlandeverbände.
In England, General Dwight D. Eisenhower and his deputy commanders chart the liberation of a lost continent, plan when and where the mighty armies of the United Nations will strike. Freight cars and tank cars to replace rolling stock destroyed by the Germans. All this and more is included in the gigantic preparation for invasion. Here is something of the gigantic naval armada assembled to transport the Allied armies across the English Channel. Here is something of the ingenuity of Allied engineers. Assault boats and invasion barges launched directly from the decks of the ships that brought them to England. The great fleet was underway. Of June 6th, this was the battleground. Fierce fighting around Caen. barges approach shore ready for instant action. Some bearing artillery and rocket guns already opening fire. In these scenes, the armies of the United Nations have made their first landings on the soil of Western Europe. Another of the great decisive battles of world history has been joined. This is the day for which free people long have waited. This is D-Day.